Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Roofing Contractor, and welcome to our Best of Success podcast show. It is such an honor and privilege to have with me today Jessica Reyna, who is the CEO of Kill Your Competition. Jessica, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me again.
Well, everyone really needs to stop and listen clearly as to what you're going to be talking about, Jessica. This is really fascinating, kind of scary as to what's happening and coming down the pipe right now with Google and what's known as SGE, Search Generative Experience. Jessica, what does everybody need to know?
The most important thing you need to know is this was actually announced by Google last year, May, and it is the way and the direction that they're going to continue to move with how people experience search. And what I mean by that is if I'm Googling something, if I'm searching in a map, whatever that looks like, how people are going to experience it. It's been available for anyone, and I mean anyone to test it as long as you're over the age of 18 in the US since May of last year. And it's not a very popular or cool topic among SEO companies, particularly those that are used to selling these rank reports and the residual income that come from it. But I feel it's a very critical and important topic for anyone that has become or is and is hoping to be organic dependent on their leads.
Right. I mean, it's what does it look like? What can we walk through, or either what does it look like now, and can you show everybody what does it look like now, and how is it going to change?
So the way that we've seen, I'm going to share my screen in a moment, is we've kind of gotten used to this ladder rung experience, that there's this, kind of when they talk about that rank, where are you on that ladder?
Right.
And I'm going to share my screen real fast so you can kind of see what it looks like. Now, you may have already seen some of this now, whether you've opted into it or not, or you can go to labs.google.com and you can actually sign up as long as it's not a Google Workspace account. So you have a personal account. This one's my personal account. I signed up as soon as it became available so I could do experiments for my clients.
And you said it's free, right? It's free to opt into.
It is totally free. There's so many resources from Google that will step-by-step walk you through things that are totally free. They're not the devil. They're a business, but they're not out to get you. So with that being said, I typed in just a real quick search. I live in Tampa Bay. So I just typed in top roofing contractors, Tampa. And it automatically over here, because I've already signed up, gave me this opportunity. But even if you haven't, we are seeing people that have never signed up who are sending us screenshots, sending us pictures where they're already getting an AI generated answer. And that's because it's continuing to roll out. So for example, you probably noticed that your search experience in Maps has changed and Google Assistant has changed because it's already using Gemini. That SG is already part of your day-to-day life now. So this is the way we're used to seeing it, right? Here is the top roofing contractors. This was the first organic one that came up. There's South Shore Roofing Exteriors, who named all these nice companies. And then you see there's some other people also ask. There's Forbes, there's BBB. And again, we're kind of experiencing that ladder rung. Then there's this map. And then, you can also, tool around in the map. You can click on here, who's Gold Seal Roofing? They got a 4.7. Or you can come down here, click on it, see more information. You go to their website. You kind of go through as we're going through. If I'm on mobile, it might have the phone number or click to message, Angie, GAF, Home Advisor. And again, ladder rung, ladder rung, ladder rung. And then we have some paid ads down here. Mighty Dog Roofing is a paid ad. So now when we click generate, of course I'm having this problem now. Let's try a different one real quick. It's probably because I let it sit too long. So again, ladder rung experience. Look, there's top 100 roofing contractors right there.
Nice.
So I'm going to say generate. And if I don't put in the geographic city, it's going to list the city I'm in. I'm actually in Land O'Lakes. This is right by where I live, near Connor Preserve. So if you don't like this, now you know where to find me. Just kidding. So again, what I'll do is what we're used to over here is you could click on this. This isn't clickable anymore, but this is. So it gives me a summary of what people say about what I do and what I also put into Google saying that I do. So in this case, Roof Crafters, it says they're trusted. Some say they offer great customer service, quality materials, reliable workmanship. This one tells me they also worked on screen lanais and it was stress-free. This one, it says they're professional, polite, they take time, explain the jobs, and again, and so on and so forth. It is all, if I do not put in the city, And even if I put in the city, it is going to be the proximity to that city. And it always, that map at this point, at this stage of the SG rollout, it will be the center of it. So let's say you're in Land O'Lakes, but you're over here on the west of Roof Crafters. It's not going to come up. So it's looking at, okay, here is the center of Land O'Lakes. And then it's going to give prompts down here. So it hasn't finished rolling out, so you'll still see this ladder rung experience down here. But it'll say, okay, who owns the best roofing company? What is the biggest problems roofers face? So again, it'll give different prompts. And the reason they're doing this is that Google is trying to become competitive with Perplexity and ChatGPT. They've already lost 2% of search share since those products have gone live. So again, it is critical to Google that they continue to roll this out to be competitive. Because if your business is dependent on eyeballs, you have to keep them there. So I did some other examples. I'm going to skip past this one. This was roofing contractors in Orlando. Same kind of experience. And it doesn't matter if you notice on here, and this is something that's really important, is a lot of people feel like I need to have 7,000 reviews, right? Right now in the Maps experience, it's not necessarily about having 7,000 reviews because this guy has 43. He's obviously does not have the most in here. And then it may give some other ones in here and explanations about them. How much does a new roof cost in Orlando? And then it generates it out. And then it'll give different people's answers. So I don't know anyone who's $6,000 in Orlando, but you can thank companies like Home Advisor for giving you guys those low price roof costs.
Right. That's a repair.
Yeah. And then you have ones over here too. This one's for Proformance Roofing. And it kind of goes through. But this is what it's going to look like. It's going to continue.
Yeah, what's different? Okay.
Yes. And then now, if you want to look at what does your company look like, this is really important. So things that you've probably not really cared about and not really worried about, particularly your BBB and your Yelp, it will actually generate a summary about your business looking at that information.
Huh.
So also, there will also be as you see here, they're family owned. So if you are PE, VE, whatever that looks like, it's going to let people know what it knows about you from those public records about your business. Gives your name, gives your phone number. If you notice, phone number is not clickable, but it's there. And then you have all these different things. So it's going to say what it says about you on this website. So the BBB, they have a 5 out of 5 stars. They have 29 reviews. So while they might have this huge overload on Google, it's giving a summary based off of that. And it'll say, basically, it'll always have these two statements. Some people say, others say. A lot of times we'll start with is the positive. If you do have negative reviews, that others say is where the negative portion will be. In this case, the Bryans, as I refer to them, have done really well. It says that they're responsive, easy to communicate, do quality work. Others say they're worth every penny, highly recommend them. And then again, pull some information from GAF. And then over here, you see this information. The one thing that we haven't seen in any experiments we've run since May is there is no reference to Facebook reviews.
Okay.
None. So with that being said, and it's probably because they're competitors, they don't feel like Yelp is obviously a competitor. They're not even a top 50 multi-website platform. So they'll pull information from places it's not a competitive place. So when you're thinking about where do I need to build my reviews, if Google's not the first one, you need to look at BBB. You can't request reviews from Yelp, obviously, or you'll get in trouble or suspended, but that's a whole other thing. But BBB should be your second one. And then it'll give summaries. So you still see like there's nowhere in here where I can click to read all the reviews, but it does have those summaries down here. And then it'll say, okay, I want to read more reviews.
So you just have to dig a little bit more for the things that used to be up there. Is that because, of course, everyone wants to go on and read reviews? And
you notice the prompt it gave me isn't even their business name. So it's not always going to get it right. So again, it goes back to this. So if it doesn't have something, that's accurate, already built out, it won't have it. Now, if I change this to contracting, and this is just showing that not everything's building up, but they're continuing to build out. When I actually put their business name in here, it actually shows this. And again, it goes back to summaries.
Okay, interesting. So it's not going to the reviews. All right. Well, so Jessica, now that we've seen that, help everybody help everybody understand what are the top things everybody needs to do right now to make sure that they're on top of this?
The most important thing is take action now. It's been available, it's free, run experiments and talk with your marketer or your SEO, whether they're in-house or it's an agency or a digital company, and say, okay, it's been here since May. What experiments have you run? What is your strategy? What changes have already been made? And what still needs to be done? At least have an expectation. They're not giving, Google's not giving the exact date of the complete entire rollout, but we've seen a continued ramp up. So much so already that they've already changed definitions for Google Ads search ads. So your, as people call it, PPC, cost per click, whatever you call it, search campaign. They're already saying things like top of page won't necessarily be top of page, but it could be within that SGE content. So it's happening. So whether you want to be a flat earther or say nobody landed on the moon, it's happening. It's already happened. And just start building that strategy. That's really, really important. And know what that strategy is and be part of it. The second thing is know what is AI generated on your website. That is critical. The next action that they've been taking as part of this rollout is de-indexing and lessening the exposure of any pages that have AI generated content. And the reason that is it's against their guidelines as far as, and I know it's terrible to say it because they're talking out of one mouth and speaking out of, or talking out of both sides of their mouth. They're saying use Gen AI, use Gen AI. But what they're asking you not to do is don't use it for content on your website. And that's really, really critical because it goes against their guidelines. It's not new. You don't own it. It is watermarked and you have no copyright to it. So it is really, really critical that you use those tools to find out. So if you can't get an answer, or you're not sure, there are free tools out there to scan it. The next thing you want to think about is plan for updates. It's going to continue to update. It's going to continue to roll out. Just like ChatGPT has had updates, Perplexity has had updates. It's going to continue to update. So those updates are going to be much more frequent. And there are places that are within the Google platform, How Search Works and the Keywords blog, which will continue to give you that information. Hey, we're going to do this, or hey, we have done that. So you can stay abreast from it from the source, not from a third party, but from Google itself. Always point back to Google as your source of truth, since they're the ones who are running the ship. The next thing is master other types of campaigns and know what actually works. And the reason I say that is when they do this complete rollout, there will be significantly less search ads, your Google ads, your PPC, your cost per click, however you like to call it, your SEM. There's, it depends how long you've been in this business and when you first started. It's basically, I would call your choice of word there. But master those other things. There's things that are AI-powered campaigns such as Performance Max, but there's also ones called Demand Gen, and one of those might work better than the other. And then the next thing also, when you're thinking about what do those other campaigns look like, do something that sends people directly to your website, either through a click, and it's not necessarily search relevant, because as they lower that inventory, your costs will go up. Because just like anything, when there's less inventory, and I know I don't have to explain that to anybody here on this call, the price goes up. So again, when you're thinking about that, it needs to be something where they know you. There have been experiments that we've run where they asked, you looked at someone's brand and they suggested, back when we were first running these experiments and working on BFAR's project, it used to suggest Shegog Roofing, which is just down the street from them. But as we work through this process, we've been able to kind of eliminate those things. So if you have that, and let's say you haven't worked on it, you haven't built that process, and all of a sudden when they read through that and they see that prompt, they're like, whoa, I should check out that other competitor. Click, and you're possibly losing that opportunity. So when you create something, let's say it's podcast ads on SXM, or it's an ad on Hulu, and they know you so well enough, they know all about your value and why they would choose you, they're going to go to your website. BFAR Contracting is a great example, since we used them earlier. That is not an easy URL to remember, right? But they, by investing into those things where people know them so well, they go to bfarcontracting.com. They skip past the organic, they're skipping past how to use a paid ad, and they're getting directly there. And then we can see with the technology we have for IP that, okay, they saw the ad on Hulu, and these are the actions they took on their website.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we can even see if they went to their page for Roofle for an instant estimate. So it is incredible, the tools that are out there that are available to you. And it doesn't cost extra when you do something like a Hulu ad to see that ROI. And the last thing is just, again, be proactive, get as many people involved as you can, and just make sure you have a plan for the future. It's really, it's happening. Plan.
It's happening.
It is happening.
Yeah, sounds great, Jessica. So yeah, very, very good insight. Okay, number one, take action. But what is the website that people need to go to that you mentioned to me earlier?
So they're going to want to go to labs.google. That's it. Okay.
All right, we'll put that in the text so everyone knows where to go.
Yep, super easy and free.
Awesome. And then lastly, if anybody has any questions for you, where do they reach out?
They can either reach on our website at clearcompetition.today, or they can find me on LinkedIn, or they can email me at jessica@clearcompetition.today.
Fabulous. All right. Thank you so much, Jessica. That's incredible insight that everyone's going to need to dive into quickly. And if anybody has any questions for us, it is roofingcontractor.com, wconline.com, or buildingenclosureonline.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially make sure you sign up for our e-newsletters, follow us on all our social media channels. And that way you can stay up to date in all the great interviews and content we're putting out, just like we are today with Jessica. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy, and we can't wait to talk to you soon. Jessica, thank you so much.
Thanks again, Jill.